Jerry Neatman and Ludo Peters on the Col de la Madeleine in 1979. Fashionable hairstyles. Winners of the Munich Festival in 1964. A Beverly Hills, D.C. 2 police robot enters service, August 18, 1982. General practitioner and suspected serial killer John Bodkin Adams reads a newspaper covering his recent acquittal, London, 1957. Elizabeth Montgomery and Julie Newmar on the set of Bewitched in 1971. Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell on the set of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953. A teacher and her students stand in front of a sod schoolhouse, Woods County, Oklahoma, 1895. Special effect for a film, United States, 1978. Syd Barrett with his cat Frisky, 1964. Woman with a model of an atomic cloud, 1950. Paul Alexander spent the majority of his life in an iron lung. Alexander contracted polio at the age of 6 in 1952, which paralyzed him from the neck down for the rest of his life. Fatal Obstacle, USSR, 1972. Alyssa Milano and Christina Applegate in 1988. Man vs. Goat, Ireland, 1950s. German soldiers handing over their weapons. Soest, May 10, 1945. Carrie Fisher and Warren Beatty, 1975. Motor drummer of the Royal Dutch Army, 1939 to 1940. Party leaders pay their respect to Chairman Mao, 1976. People posing on Tennessee's Umbrella Rock and Lookout Mountain, 1860. Russian troops celebrate the capture of the presidential palace in Grozny, First Chechen War, 1995. Young President James Abram Garfield, 1831 to 1881. Miss Serbia and Miss Croatia at a beauty contest in Belgrade, 1929. Irish Republican Army trainees are assembling weapons while blindfolded, around 1966. The Slendo machine in 1940. Deborah Paget, 1933. Ski jumping competition at Empire Stadium in 1958, Vancouver, Canada. When Boston was hit by a bizarre deadly wave of molasses, 1919. A woman using an Atari 800 computer, 1980s. Audrey Hepburn, 1993. The USS Macon airship releases her Curtiss F-9C-2 Sparrowhawks in the 1930s. Each airship carried up to 5 Curtiss F-9C Sparrowhawk fighters, lightweight biplanes with a crew of 1 and armed with 2.30 caliber Browning machine guns. An AIDS activist holds up a sign protesting the decision to overturn an anti-discrimination law. Orange County, California, June 20th, 1989. NASA's massive wind tunnel used to test aircraft, the 16-foot high-speed tunnel at Langley Research Center, 1949. The end of Hitler's dream, a downed German plane in Stalingrad. Long smoking mouthpiece. Salma Hayek in the 90s. A Nenets family in the Brukovsky Islands, 1912. Transportation of India's first satellite on a cart pulled by oxen, India, 1981. Acrobats at the Muscle Beach, 1949. Dancers at the Windmill Theatre, London, 1940. Kylie Minogue, 1992. Like-minded people, Olomouc region, Czech Republic, 1993. Marine Lance Corporal Roland Ball starts the day off with a shave at the Khe Sanh base in Vietnam, which was surrounded by North Vietnamese regulars. Ball uses a helmet as a sink and a rear-view mirror taken from a military vehicle. 1968. It's Shoemaker's Lunch, 1944. French soldiers showing a portrait of Charles de Gaulle to curious British kids on D-Day 1944. Women of the Future, according to the French artist Albert Bergeret, 1902 student. A GI gets a close-up photo as President Nixon meets with troops of the 1st Infantry Division at Dai An, 12 miles northeast of Saigon, on his 8th visit to South Vietnam and his first as president, on July 30, 1969. 1955. The American company Tappan Company first introduced the microwave oven. Lillian Collier, founder of Chicago's first lesbian bar, The Wind Blew In, climbing a skyscraper being constructed in 1921. Officials swear allegiance to the president, 1971, Uganda. Stan Lee with Hulk and Thor from the 1988 Hulk live-action TV show. A man in a barrel does a push-up at the beach. New York City, 1897. On the set of the film Beethoven, 1992. A London police officer directing traffic in heavy fog using a device connected to the gas main, which could be folded away into a metal box embedded in the street, 1935. Alfred Hitchcock and Martin Landau on the set of North by Northwest, 1959. Mine workers coming out of the mine shaft, Virginia City, Nevada, 1867-1888. (1920s). Women wearing fashions from the 1890s in Atlantic City. A massive photo mural to promote the sale of defense bonds, designed by the Farm Security Administration in the concourse of Grand Central Terminal, New York City, 1941. Elvis Presley fan is carried to get first aid after getting a breakdown by his presence, Chicago Amphitheater, 1957. Sybil Shepherd, 1986. Thomas Edison at his home. Two common methods of hauling water in Old Mexico and the southwestern United States. Texas, 1905. Julia Roberts takes over for director Gary Marshall on camera for Pretty Woman, 1990. A Mujahideen fighter holds the remains of a parachute bomb. The design allows ground attack jets to drop bombs at low altitude without being caught up by the explosion. The Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, 1979-1989. A Soviet Il-2 attack aircraft collided with a Gaz-AA truck-based special-purpose vehicle at an airfield. Brigitte Bardot, sex symbol of the 1950s. Claudia Cardinale with a Siamese kitten around 1960. Princess Diana look-alike competition. David Niven on a water taxi in Venice. Stephen King at the gate of his new Victorian home, decorated with bat figurines. November 1982. Pageant 1920s flapper style. A nurse weighs a baby in a Scottish village. Scotland, 1959. German car with spring wheels, 1917. Ultraviolet tooth therapy lamp. The Bertillon system that catalogued criminals by their physical measurements. Class on the Bertillon system in France in 1911. Additional armor for the Sherman tank, World War II. Smoke rises from the southwestern part of Saigon on May 7, 1968, as residents stream across the bridge leading into the capital to escape heavy fighting between the Viet Cong and South Vietnamese soldiers. 1914 bowling. A bizarre photo of two women with their heads severed from their bodies, 1950. When Cleveland released 1.5 million balloons, 1986. Madonna by Helmut Newton, 1990. Whitney Houston in front of her childhood home in New Jersey after she released her debut album in 1985. '70s roller skating. When Dad tried doing Mom's work for a weekend, 1956. A Polish policeman with a dog wearing gas masks, 1930s. William James Sidis was a precocious genius with an estimated IQ of 250 to 300. He read the New York Times at 18 months, wrote French poetry at 5 years old, spoke 8 languages at 6. Joan Collins on the set of Land of the Pharaohs, 1955. A Royal Air Force pilot is getting a haircut in 1942. Salma Hayek, 1995. Moroccan Police Commissioner Mustafa Tebet hangs his head at his trial. With the protection of other cops, Tebet kidnapped, assaulted, and raped at least 518 women. It remains the worst police corruption scandal in the country. 1993. Women's Prison, New Orleans, Louisiana, 1965. Dawn Wells in the 1960s. Leah Thompson from the 1980s. Charlize Theron at age 14. Photo from 1989. Fencing at the Russian Tver Cavalry School, 1905. Tiffany Amber Thiessen in the 80s. Funeral services for the 28 Germans who lost their lives in the Hindenburg disaster, 1937. Linda Carter, 1978. Richard Chamberlain and Yoko Shimada in Shogun, 1980. Kylie Minogue, 1988. A group of civil rights demonstrators holding picket signs and kneeling at a demonstration in Macomb, Mississippi for equal voting rights, 1962. Amy Winehouse will always be a legend, and here she is in the 1990s. In 1996, the Port Arthur massacre in Australia began. Australia immediately went about reforming gun laws, and around 650,000 firearms were collected and destroyed. This photo shows some of the guns collected. Soldiers being happy about some news they got on the 11th of November 1918. Giant Olmec head found in Mexico, 1946. There was a Subway chocolate vending machine that gave out chocolate for a penny in New York, 1953. Probably the first ever photo of a cat, 1870 Harry Pointer. Twilight Zone nightmare at 20,000 feet, 1960s. Paul McCartney and his dog Martha in 1967. Navajo Indian in a bear costume, 1914. Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic in 1990. Marilyn Monroe in 1951. A boy wearing an Adolf Hitler mask, London, 1938. Mary Pickford, Jack Pickford, and William S. Hart having a bit of fun on the famous Players Lasky lot in 1917. A multi-celled triangular kite, 1902. Kurt Cobain, 1992. Thurgood Marshall leaving federal court after the court ruled author and Lucy to be admitted to the University of Alabama. Lucy was later expelled by the university for her own safety due to riots and outrage. Birmingham, 1956. H. Maharao, Raja Sir Raghubir Singh Sahib, Bahadur of Bundi, 1818. A group of nail yacht photographed by Rudolf Lehnert, 1904. Run DMC and Weird Al Yankovic hanging out in 1987. Popcorn Wagon at Hoyne and Adams, Chicago, Illinois, March 29, 1949.